Wear and Tear, yet another YouTube outdoor ink review channel. Today I want to talk briefly about the Cima-1 jungle survival knife. This is a simple, well-used Mora knife, a Mora companion. You can pick up between 5 and 10 euros at the local department store or home improvement store. This is the Cima C1, just size-wise. And this is a Spyderco Enduro 4, I think. Just to show you the size, the Cima is the most compact knife here, but it's the heaviest knife because it features it's a very thick blade. It's a very sturdy full tang construction. It comes razor sharp out of the box. It has a very aggressive jimping right here that will cut a little bit into your thumb, but if you wear gloves that doesn't matter, and if you're just tough enough it doesn't matter either. If you're not tough enough, don't go outdoors. Go hard or go home, as they say. Now, well, compared to a Mora knife, the Cima is just way more robust. I would consider it to be way more reliable outdoors. Doesn't mean it's more practical than a Mora knife, because this is a very light setup and it's still effective. Now, the one thing that I don't like about the Cima is the sheet system. That I like the basic idea of the sheet system. It's very compact and it definitely will prove to work very well outdoors when you carry it on your hip, when you carry it a little bit higher on your hip. It doesn't add too much to the belt. But the one problem is, of course, the rattling. It goes forward and backward, and it also rattles. It rattles in every direction, really. So it's a cheap plastic mold. I understand. Somewhere they have to. It's an inexpensive knife, between $15 and $20. So they can't actually use more expensive materials or techniques to produce such a sheet. So it's a simple plastic mold, and on the back, this is metal, which I actually like. Will last for a long time. Now, the question that I have is, how can I improve that? And since this is a plastic mold and that always works with heat, I guess I can do something with heat to modify the sheet system to actually get rid of the rattling. I might also ruin the sheet completely, but let's try it out, and if it works, it might be helpful for you to modify your own Cima knife, because if the modification is successful, then for only $15 or so you can pick up a very nice bushcraft knife. The one property that I also want to mention is the handle is very heavy. The blade in itself is lighter, so it's not exactly a balanced knife. It always will tip towards the handle. So this is very good for doing fine tasks, because most of the weight is actually in your palm. But of course you can forget it for chopping. But who does chopping with such a small knife unless you really have to? So let's see how we can modify the sheet system. The plan is to heat up this steel part and to push it into the molded plastic sheet. And then this way we will cause a dent, and it prevents at least some of the rattling. Now, the reason why I don't apply the flame directly at the sheet is because then the sheet would be burned and would be nasty. It might also crack. So heat up this part, and this way try to accomplish the desired result. Let's start. Well, the only thing that I was accomplishing so far, I was melting a hole into the sheet system. That gives me two options now. Is either I put like some glue in there, like even some hot glue, and that would prevent the blade from rattling, or I just heat the area here up a little bit and then push that inside, and then this would do the same job, and that's the solution I'll go for. So the idea is to add a little bit of heat in this area and push that a little bit in. And this should actually get rid of the rattling completely. So let's just try it. Okay. Not quite there. Push it a little bit more in. But this is definitely a step-by-step process. You can't do too much at once. The rattling is already a lot less. You can perfect it. So the surgery was successful. The patient is not quite dead. The jungle survival knife is held in now without any type of rattling. It's held in safely and securely. So this material, the sheet material, really responds very nicely to heat. A lighter is enough. Part of the problems that I had came from using too much heat. So there's definitely no reason not to buy this knife. The rattling sheet was not a big problem. So I'll test out this knife outdoors as soon as I can. And if I find any major flaws or anything like that, then of course I'll post that on my YouTube channel. As I always like to break things and show the flaws of things. But this knife doesn't seem likely to break or bend or fail in any way. It looks really good quality. Alright folks, this was Wear and Tear. I went out.